So that's why I'm here today, to lend my support and try to rope other celebrities in and bring other people to the table to bring. I didn't even know this was an issue, to be honest with you. So I think there's a bit of education that needs to go on in the rest of the country, to educate the rest of the country that there is this need, because I didn't know about it until my friend David told me about it. And then sitting next to this chairman here of your trust, who's so passionate and powerful and, you know, inspiring, that I can see you guys are going to get it done. And but you are going to need the help of the country. You're going to need the help of the rest of the country, and I think getting the word out is part of that plan. So I'll leave you with my hope that we can be successful, that I can be a part of that success, and that I can help find other people to contribute in this worthy cause. And it's now my honor, I have a little business to do, to introduce one of the co-chairs of tonight's event, the Ambassador of Mexico, Arturo Sarukhan.
Good evening, buenas noches. I was about to say that can Mexico deliver weather for the Trust of the National Mall, but this isn't Mexican weather. A very good Texan friend of mine equates giving a speech to a Texas Longhorn. 1 point here, 1 point here, a lot of bull in the middle. So I'm going to try and be very, very brief tonight. First of all, the question that I think is in most of your minds is, why is Mexico supporting this cause? For starters, because we sincerely believe embassies and ambassadors in Washington, D.C. have to give back to the community in which we live, if it's for 3, 4, 5 years. It's one way of bridging our two societies, of creating bonds of co-stakeholdership between the causes that Washingtonians hold dear. But the second reason is that this year is the bicentennial of Mexico's independence. In September, we will be celebrating 200 years. And our independence movement, 30 years later after the United States became independent, was an independence movement that was very linked to the values, the principles that made this nation independent. And many of those principles are enshrined in how our country was born. And in fact, in some of those, we were slightly ahead of you. We abolished slavery when we became independent in 1810. But then there are also other moments when our two countries have been extremely linked to one another. And many of you probably wondered why there's a statue of President Benito Juarez right next to the Watergate, and in front of the Kennedy Center. Well, Caroline was mentioning the Union Army stationed right here, and in that moment of such a profound, momentous, historical moment of definition for this nation, President Juarez defended the Union and worked with Lincoln to ensure that some of the European powers did not ship weapons and arms to the Confederacy through Mexican territory. And so our nations have been joined at the hip for the good for many, many, many years and many decades. Let me end by the other day when we had luncheon. A lot was said about people and the role that this beautiful mall has played in this great nation's history. And there are two beautiful quotes that I found for tonight, which I think express why all of us are here this evening. The first one is by W.H. Auden, the British poet, who said, and I quote, "Private faces in public spaces are wiser and nicer than public faces in private places." This is a mall that brings public faces to live and to cherish and to experience the American dream. And the second one is by Frank Lloyd Wright, who said, and I quote, "Space is the breath of art." What a space here tonight.